Let's go.
Let's go.
Oh, did you want to?
Sorry, I'll let you.
Next time. Okay.
Someone is creating a device that amplifies paranormal activity. And we might be the only ones who can stop it.
Holtzman, come on.
The hat is too much, right? Is it the wig or the hat?
There's a bigger picture at hand here. These ghosts can possess the human form.
Ghostbusters is a reboot to the classic franchise, Ghostbusters. This film is a new female-led film. It stars Melissa McCarthy, Kate McKinnon, Leslie Jones, and Kristen Wiig, as well as Chris Hemsworth, and is directed by Paul Feig, who directed films like Bridesmaids, The Heat, and Spy. 3 films that I personally enjoyed a lot. So yeah, this film has been surrounded by controversy and criticism and hate. First of all, you had the announcement that it was going to be a complete reboot. Second of all, you had the fact that it was going to be a completely female-led cast. A lot of people weren't happy with that for whatever reason. And then you had the trailers, and the trailers were really bad. Like, they weren't funny, and it just looked off and weird. But yeah, the film is finally here, and it's not that bad. It's actually okay. So first of all, I'm gonna go with the main stars. They are pretty good at what they do. Kristen Wiig, Kate McKinnon, and Melissa McCarthy, they play scientists, while Leslie Jones plays, kind of like this employee at like a metro station. And this was met with a lot of controversy because people were like, oh, how she's gonna like mix in with scientists. Well, she does mix in pretty well, especially because she's someone that knows New York like the palm of her hand, so she does come in handy a lot throughout the film. And also, like, they are actually pretty funny, like, together, which was one of my concerns when I saw the trailer. I was like, oh boy, they're not being funny here. Every single piece of comedy that they tried in the trailers, I felt was forced. And there's a lot of those moments here, though. Like, there are moments where it's just not working. But then there are moments where it does work, and it is actually funny. Out of the 4 main Ghostbusters, I do have to say that Kate McKinnon felt out of place. She feels very cartoony, and just not like a real character, though. Like, she's kind of like just like dancing around, and the way she interacts with other people doesn't feel real. And if like every single character here was kind of like that, especially the other Ghostbusters, it'd be like, okay, but it's just her in particular that just feels off. Then you have other characters like Chris Hemsworth, who plays the receptionist. Now, here's a problem that I had with the film. Chris Hemsworth, he plays a dumb character. I think that was kind of clear from the trailers. He plays a dumb character. Now, my issue is when he pops up, he's actually being dumb but funny. Like, this shit he says, it's just like really stupid, but like stupid funny. But then they just kind of go for like that like dumb, unfunny thing, and he just gets dumber and dumber and dumber. And it became annoying to watch him. Like, every time he popped up, I was like, oh boy, here we go with some of that weird dumb thing. And that actually kind of like extends to every single character in the film, apart from the Ghostbusters. They're all kind of dumb. Like, the mayor is dumb, the mayor's assistant is, they're all dumb, and like, Secret Service is dumb. And it's kind of like meant to be like, oh, the Ghostbusters are, the smartest ones. But it doesn't feel real. Like, it does feel kind of cartoony at times, and it does take you out of the film. Like, why is everyone so dumb here and making such like logical choices? But anyways, moving on to the actual plot itself. It's fairly simple. It follows how the Ghostbusters got together, how they started busting ghosts, and there is a villain who's trying to open this portal to bring like this like army of ghosts towards the world. And the reasoning behind this is really dumb. He's just one of those characters that's like, oh, I've been hated my whole life and people just talk shit about me, so I want to kill everybody. Yeah, one of those villains. Just completely uninteresting. Kind of cringy at times. Like, he gets really cringy when you watch him. And I just did not care about him at all. There was nothing menacing about him. Yes, even the stakes were high, but just him, like, there was no menace to him. Like, oh shit, that guy is a problem. So yeah, that really sucked. And then you have the CGI itself and the design of the ghosts and how they look. I actually really liked how the ghosts looked. I liked the design, I thought it worked well, and the CGI is great. Which also leads me to the 3D. I actually watched this film in 3D, and it was actually like really interesting. This is like the first time that I actually see this kind of 3D use, where it's like widescreen, so you have like the black bars at the top and the bottom. And let's say like the Ghostbusters are shooting like a proton beam, and it does extend over to like the black bars, and so it has like this better effect of it actually coming out of the screen, or ghosts being like thrown around the screen and slime, and it all kind of like extends to that part as well, and it does create this better feeling of 3D. And it is gimmicky, but I like gimmicky in my 3D. So yeah, that was interesting to see though, that different use of 3D. And now my biggest complaint, the thing that just completely took me out of the film, were the insane amount of cameos and references and like homages to the original. First of all, the cameos. The cameos would have worked if they actually kind of worked inside of the plot itself though. But whenever like, let's say Bill Murray or Dan Aykroyd popped up, it was always a scene that you could have easily taken out of the film. But you didn't need those scenes at all. And it is kind of shocking like in this way, like, hey everybody, look at that, that's Bill Murray, and then they kind of like have him in there for a scene that at the end of the day doesn't really do anything for the film. It just distracts you. And I'm pretty sure they could have made a better integration of the cameos, like just written something that actually had an impact on the story or whatever if they really want a cameo. But they just do like these long scenes where it's like, yeah, it doesn't work. And then you have like the constant references, and you know, be it like a little music cue or like, hey look, it's the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man, or hey look, it's Slimer. And where it does take you out of the film though, and I wish the film stood more on its own, because it wasn't a bad film. It wasn't being a bad film where it needed to kind of like latch on to the original. And the action sequences in the film are actually like really fun to watch. Like there's like even like you know, the ending sequence was actually really fun and like just big and just tons of ghosts everywhere. So yeah, that was fun to watch, and just well shot though. It is actually well shot. Don't expect any like crazy like out of this world action though, but it does work, and there's a lot more ghost hunting here than in the past films, obviously due to more effects. But yeah, all in all, like I enjoyed the film. It, like the comedy sometimes tends to fall flat, and I wish the characters just felt smarter and less cartoonish, because yeah, they do get like really insanely cartoony. And yeah, and just the amount of cameos was just way too much. it just felt shoehorned in. Like they couldn't find a way to actually make them work. But yeah, you do get some laughs from it, and it is like an entertaining film because the four leads, they do work well together, and so you're not like, oh, why am I watching this? And the CGI also it's great, and yeah, the 3D, that actually really surprised me because I'm pretty sure I haven't seen that kind of 3D use before. So I would recommend to watch Ghostbusters in theaters. Actually, like it is a fun time. Like it is a time waster basically. Like you can go in just a couple hours, and it works. Like you won't hate yourself watching it, but you're not gonna go out like completely loving the film. Like, oh, this is the best film I've seen. It just works. It just works. I think that for sequels or the cinematic universe that you're trying to build, supposedly, there's a lot of work that can be done, especially with the way they write this film. To, just make it a little bit more real. But yeah, it does work. And now to think of it, it's actually a little bit more enjoyable than Ghostbusters 2. So there's that. So yeah, Ghostbusters. Pretty big surprise, especially since I wasn't expecting much from the film. I was actually expecting a piece of shit, but it does work, so good job.